Oh, good morning, you guys. I was watching a documentary this morning over coffee. It's about an hour long. If you're interested in watching it, I'll leave the link down below. And it's uh, it's an epidemic in the world today, and this isn't just a problem in one or two countries. It's global, and there's a lot of epidemics right now that are worse than ever before in human history, and that's with depression, anxiety, loneliness. Um, Suicide is at an all-time high, and it's affecting all age groups. It's affecting teenagers, it's affecting people in their mid 30s, people in their 40s, 50s, and beyond, even the elderly. Back in the day, it used to be only your grandparents that would ever suffer loneliness at the end of their life due to losing a spouse or what have you. But now, today, it's all ages, all groups, worldwide. And I know what's responsible for that. I don't have to even bring it up. If you don't know, then you're in the dark. So I don't even have to bring it up. But something I am going to bring up is something that people don't really think about. You know, when somebody sees something happen, they don't really get into the thought behind of why. They really don't get into the why. Oh, that happened and this place is gone, but why? They don't ever think about that. And so I'm going to give you an example of something else that people don't think about because they're just wired and programmed to just see something without ever thinking anything about it on what they're seeing. You just see it and that's it. That's where it stops. You just see it and you don't put no thought in behind it. Well, I'm going to give an example of what a lot of people, I'm not saying every single person out there watching this video does this, but the majority of people out there don't understand is that I'm going to use YouTube as an example. When you watch YouTube, there's people out there that think this is what people think that if I do YouTube, I got to have one of these. I got to have a camera if I do YouTube. No, you don't. You don't need a camera at all. You don't need your phone. You don't need a camera. You don't need none of that. This is what you need, a mic. Why? Because without a camera, you can get images from Google Images and type in whatever type of image you're looking for. Thousands of them will come up. And then you scroll down through until you find an image that fits your story narrative and you screenshot it. And then you find other similar images that are relevant to what you bring into your timeline. So let's say I'll give you an example. When I did that Bigfoot video, for years, a large hairy bipedal creature has survived in the forest. And when I narrated that, I did a voiceover with this mic and then used a bunch of images that I got from the internet. Didn't even need a camera because my visuals came from the internet and then my voice told the story. Boom, you got a video. So when people look at YouTube, you'll watch videos where the camera is always away from the creator. The creator is never in the video because the lens is always facing away from the creator because the creator does not want to be in his or her videos. And then there's channels out there where the creator always has the camera on them and only them all the time. It won't be turned this way. So there's three examples I gave you right there. Timeline using photos and voiceover, camera only facing away from the creator, camera only facing the creator, and then you got creators out there that do both, like me. You'll see me, then the camera looks away. You'll see me, the camera looks away. I do both. There's all kinds of ways you can run a channel on YouTube. It's all in your technique. How are you going about it? Are you using one of these? Are you not using a camera? All kinds of different ways. So when people watch videos, they're just watching the content, but they're not thinking about how the creator is thinking and going about making that channel what it is. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm using this as an example is because you can look at things that have gone away and someone says, oh, well, that place just went out of business. And then they believe the narrative that they're told. Oh, they didn't make enough money. There wasn't enough draw of the public. They were suffering, so they closed their doors. No, Nope, I don't buy that one bit. You know, we were fed that lie when Sam's Club here went out. And you want to know something? Every single time I went by that store or to that store, it was packed with people. Packed. You had to drive around looking for a place to park. And then they said it was because there wasn't enough business. You see, you guys, there is always something behind when something happens. There's always something behind it, and there's always a reason. There's always a reason, and you're not always going to know that reason. But if you think about it, the reason is obvious. Just like our mall. There again, another example, okay? Our mall. Out of all the things in our mall that we have, and there was a variety, the one thing that got eliminated from our mall were all the things that had to do with having human to human social interaction. There was restaurant after restaurant after restaurant in a food court. Food court's gone. There used to be little stores and shops where you could go in and you could get something to drink and something to eat. Gone. Now, the only thing that's left are stores where you run in, you buy what you want, and you leave. Run in, run out, run in, run out. No time to sit and spend time and socialize. That shit had to go away. Get rid of it. Clean that out of the mall. Let's just go with places where you run in, elevator music's playing, place is dead, and they're not getting any bit. You know, isn't it funny that the places that are left are places that get zero business and somehow they survive? The places that used to draw a hell of a crowd of people and people like to go, they close. Do you ever think about that any more than when you watch a YouTube video, what the creator's angle is behind the channel and why they're doing what they're doing and how they're doing it? Or do you just watch the content and don't care? Because that's what people are doing in society. They're seeing what's happening and they don't care. Just like they don't realize that the human experience is being replaced with convenience. They want you to believe that convenience, that everything that's being done is being done in the name of convenience. No, it's not. That is the biggest lie they are telling you. It's not about convenience. It's about cutting off the human interaction. I'll give you an example, an old-fashioned example, ATM versus going into the bank. Remember before there was ATM machines, you could go into the bank and you'd have an interaction with the teller if you wanted money. Now they say, well, it's more convenient if you have a ATM machine, and let's put it, you know, far away from the bank, way at the other end of the drive-through window, way at the other end. So you're so far away, you barely can wave to the woman working the drive-through. You see, it's all about cutting off the human interaction, just like they closed down all the things that pertain to all age groups. The skating rinks were for the kids, the bowling alleys and the movie theaters were for the middle-aged people, and a lot of, well, for teenagers all the way up to retired. They took away stuff that was for all age groups, all generations. And what he got left, a bunch of places that suck. You wouldn't care if they were there or not. You never see them doing any business. Their parking lots are always empty. Yet these entities survive. They survive. You know why they survive? Because they're not a threat to society. If you have something to where it causes people getting together and having mingling and human interaction, they'll get rid of you. They'll find a way to get rid of you. That's the stuff they want to close down. Look at what's happened to the malls. Look at what's happened to bowling alleys, roller rinks, movie theaters. Think about, make a list. Get out a notebook, piece of paper, and draw a line down the middle. Write down all the things that used to exist in your area, where you're from or grew up, and then write down what's left. You know what's left? Libraries and churches, and they're next. Those are going to be next. To where they'll tell you worship at home. Don't get together with others, because they want it all about convenience. They want everything to be done. Why do you think they want you to pay your bills online? You think that's a convenience? No, because they know you're going to be stuck at home. So you still have to be able to do business from home, because that's where they're going to force you to be. You see, back in the day when I didn't pay my bills online, if I needed stamps, I had to go to the post office. I would have an interaction with the postmaster. Not anymore, because now I don't need the freaking stamps, because now I can pay my bill online. So there goes the need to go to the post office. And if I go to the store, there used to be a clerk there that would, you know, check you out and add up your stuff, and then you'd pay that person. But now it's self-pay. Self-checkout. There goes the human interaction. They're axing it everywhere, everywhere. Just like they went after our stage on the lake and they wanted to eliminate it, Democrats. And I fought that, and I got a petition with a whole shitload of signatures and got that woman stopped. They wanted to do away with concert music in the park. Why? They don't want you at the park. They want you home. Go online. Be a good boy and go home and be on Facebook. You don't belong at the park. You don't need live music at the park. You want music? Watch it on YouTube. Why don't people understand what's going on? Anything that was fun, good, and wholesome, get rid of it. Get rid of it. That's what they want. You got to start looking at things at why it is the way that it is. Just like when you watch a YouTube video, what is that creator doing? Why don't that creator want to show his face? Why can you only hear his voice or her voice, but they never show their face? They got their own reasons. Maybe they don't want to show their face, but does anybody really think about what's going on in the content and why the content is the way that it is? People that are afraid to be online don't show their face. I show my face because I don't give a shit. Just like I can talk about anything. I don't care. Not afraid. Never been afraid. And yes, there's things I have to dance around to talk about on YouTube because freedom of speech is gone. They're eliminating everything. It's ridiculous. Everything today is about in and out, quick, hurry, quick, get what you need and get out, get back home. There is nowhere to go. You know, and so people tell me, get out there and meet someone. Where? In the fucking woods? Where am I supposed to meet somebody? The meeting places have been erased and have been gone for years. Nobody goes anywhere to meet anymore. There is no such thing. It doesn't exist. Not in my state. If you don't believe me, come here. Come here and see what we have or what we don't have. There is nowhere to go to meet somebody. And dating sites are a joke. It's a meat market. Nobody even uses honest photos on there or information. The only way you get honesty is in person. If someone says, yes, I'm thin, I'm 5'5", I only weigh 98 pounds, and then you meet the person, they're 210 pounds, and they're 4 feet tall. You can't lie when you're in person. That's why I don't do dating sites. Plus, I can't afford it. It's shit. I don't do that stuff. I'd actually feel worse about myself being on something like that than going about it the way that I am. But there's no interaction. They don't want us interacting. They want suicide sky high. They want unhappiness and loneliness sky high because it affects your health. It shortens your life. If you're unhappy, you're going to be more apt to just comply, stay home, keep doing more of the stuff that's only going to make that worse. It's only going to make your loneliness worse because nobody wants to take control of their life and say, screw this. I'm not going along with the narrative. I'm going to get out there and I need to find other people that want to do the same damn thing. The problem is you can't find people that want to do the same damn thing because they're so addicted to what they've been brainwashed into believing is great for them that they're perfectly content where they're at, just idling, just staying where you are, doing nothing. Look at what the gaming industry has done to kids. Hours upon hours playing video games while their body just sits idle, waiting for them to get up and move and do something. They're killing themselves and they don't even know it. They're absolutely killing themselves. You're probably going to see younger generations dropping dead of heart attacks, cholesterol building up. That's what I'm doing to shorten my life. I can make a choice because I'm not responsible for anybody other than myself. And I can say, hey, I could either be healthy and stick around for another 20 years to enjoy this shit show, or I could eat unhealthy, don't exercise, get my blood pressure up to a dangerous level, get my cholesterol sky high, so I have a better chance of dying of a heart attack or a stroke and get the fuck out of here earlier. That's what I'm doing. That's my decision. That's what I think the antidote to this is, because it's never going to go back to what it was, ever. That is a pipe dream. The days of when things were great, life was great, living was living, it's never going back to that again. Now it's a cold, empty, meaningless bullshit life where everybody just has their phones and their internet and everybody just stays home and it's crickets everywhere. There's nowhere to go. The lights are off. The streets are empty. It's a bullshit life. I don't know why people welcome this crap and they put up with it and they allow it. But people don't look at the forest for the trees. So the next time you watch a YouTube video, think about how that creator is going about it. What are they using? Are they using just images and no camera? Or are they using a camera and it's always just faced away from them? Or are they using a camera? Is it always on them? Think about what's going on behind the scenes, because there's a reason for everything. And when something shuts down, there's the equal reason for that as there is to the creator who does his channel a certain way. People don't think about what's going on behind it. Oh, that place went out of business. That's a shame. Yeah. Why did it go out of business? Who's the investors? Who's the owner? I'd like to talk to them. Why did this go out of business when there was a lot of people coming here and like this place, and then you just shut it down? Why? I know why. Why do you think we don't even have hardly any restaurants left at all where you can go in and sit down and have a meal with somebody? It's all just fast food junk. The mall is dead. Everything's dead. It's crazy. We used to have bowling alleys all over the place, movie theaters. There used to be all kinds of stuff to do, places to go, places to meet. There used to be donut shops where you could go and meet people if you wanted to be quick about it. Restaurants all over the place. You used to have bars up the ass. I can't name you one bar that I even know exists anymore. Not one. Not one. They used to be on every street corner, right? Opposite the church. There'd be a church and a bar. Then next block, church and a bar. There was as many bars as there was churches, and vice versa. That's why I say churches and libraries are next. But they make it to where you don't need to leave your home. You don't need to do anything. And nobody really thinks about the why, what's behind it. They always put it in the name of something else when it has absolutely nothing to do with it. It's not about convenience. It's about complying. And then people talk about free will when they force this stuff up on you, just like when it's going to go to a cashless society. Is that free will that I can say, hey, well, I got free will, so I'm going to still continue to pay cash when they say, no, we're not going to accept cash anymore. There goes your free will. So that just goes right out the window. We don't have free will in anything anymore. They're forcing everything on us, just like all these mandates and everything, telling us what to do. And by the way, when you look at these, when they come around, this that's going on right now that everybody is sick of, they all originate in a tropical region of the world. Look it up. It's the truth. They all come from a tropical region of the world. So at a time when it's ramping up again, it's just coincidence that our winter this year happens to be one of the warmest weather winters I've ever seen in my life and got yellow roses growing. That's just a coincidence, Kevin. Just a coincidence. That's all it is. Nobody thinks about nothing. And yes, they can control the weather. If you don't believe it, look it up. They absolutely can. It's been going on for years. Just a coincidence that it's so warm out, no snow on the ground, when we're supposed to be freezing cold. I should be plowing like crazy right now this time of year. And yellow roses, bees, flies outside. I had to get a tick off of Sandy yesterday. She was feeling the top of her head. She says, what the hell's on my head? And I looked with a flashlight. She had a tick in her scalp. Comes from a tropical region because that's where it survives best. Coincidence that we're so warm. People don't use their brains anymore at all. Not at all. They don't think about anything. They just see what they see, and they really don't think anything beyond that at all. Everything that happens is not by coincidence. It's all by design. Everything. There is no such thing as coincidence. It doesn't exist. It's all by design. Everything goes away because they want it to. But yet all the other stuff that you wonder, how do they survive? How does this place stay around this long? Nobody goes there. No one cares about it, and it will survive because it's not a threat. That's how it survives. Survives on a shoestring budget. And nobody cares about it and leaves it alone because it's not doing something against the powers that be. But if it's a great place, a fun place, an enjoying place, they'll shut it down. If it does well enough and big enough, they'll shut it down for sure. You can believe what you want, but I see what the hell is going on because I see it time and time and time again, and I don't believe in a coincidence at all. It's all by design. That's why nobody's got a life anymore. That's why so many people stay home, because they took the living aspect of being human and destroyed it. They destroyed it, and they're going to continue to destroy it, and it's only going to get worse. So the only thing that I can do is shorten my life by doing the things that are guaranteed to shorten your life. Lack of exercise and eating unhealthy and everything else. Doubling up on the stress, all the things that will take you out quicker. That's what I'm focusing on. Because I don't want to be around another 20 years. And maybe this surgery I have coming up will do it. I'm hoping. Because on the other side, man can't control any part of that. Man has no control over that. It's exempt from man's bullshit. I'd rather exist there where man can't dick with stuff and ruin stuff like he does here in this earth. So think about it. Instead of just seeing something all the time and just looking at it blind, think about what's going on behind the scenes. That why did that happen? Why is this like this? Think about it. Do your research and look into things, and you might just be surprised. Because I'll tell you what, if you're just taking it at face value, you're a sheep. Never take anything in this world at face value that, oh, well, that just happened because of, Sure. It's all by design. The day is coming to where your world will only be within the walls of where you dwell. There will be no outside world anymore. They're eliminating it. If they have to go as far as making the environment so toxic you couldn't stand to be outside, it's going there. They want you home. Bottom line. Thanks for watching, you guys. We'll see you again in the next one. Bye-bye.